Hey guys, Judy here from My Divine Angel Reading. Welcome to Intuitive Tuesday. Today I wanted to touch on a couple topics as far as a lot of people are always asking, about their intuition or if they're intuitive or psychic or have a sixth sense. So I'm going to touch on that and go over that. I'm going to show you the answer, yes. Everybody has natural intuitive abilities, okay? It's your gut instincts. That's all. I'm going to go over and I'm going to point out and show you how natural it is, okay? We're going to show you ways that you can use them for your highest good. And when I say highest good, what I mean by that is not anything witchy or scary or woo-woo. It's just some people, they can take the most beautiful, precious, innocent thing or good thing and just twist it into something so negative and ass backwards. It's ridiculous. So I'm going to show you how using your gut instincts, your intuition, for your highest good, how it benefits you and those around you. And as always, I want you to grab a pen and paper because at the end of the video, I'm going to go through a little mini exercise and show you what your strongest intuitive ability is. There's more than four, but there's four main abilities. And we each have one that is a little extra strong, okay? So at the end of the video, I will walk you through that exercise. It's pretty cool. So the first thing I wanted to touch on is a lot of people ask, am I intuitive? Am I psychic? Do I have a sixth sense? My gut instincts, or I don't trust my gut, it doesn't work, it's broken, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so you've heard of your mother's intuition, okay, that's another form of it. Your gut instincts, your sixth sense, okay, it's all the same thing. It all comes down into you, okay, all in here, okay. So let me give you an examples and point out some pretty basic everyday things where you can probably relate to, oh yeah, I've had that happen. Yeah, I've had that happen. To inform you that, yes, your intuition, you do have an intuition, okay? So the first one is, have you ever just known, like an example would be the phone, okay? Before the phone rings, you just kind of know it's going to ring, or you feel it, or you get an image of a phone. Or another example to take that to another level is you kind of know who's calling you before they call you. Another example would be, if you're thinking of someone, you've heard this expression, oh, were your ears ringing? I was just thinking of you or talking about you. It's the person that you're thinking of, just random someone pops in your mind and you're thinking of them, and they either call you or you run into them somewhere out in public, okay? That's like a little bit of a premonition type thing, but it's also connecting with somebody else through the thought and them picking up on it and connecting with you. Another example, and I think we can all relate to this, is if something's going on in your life, okay, and this little tiny voice in your head speaks to you, okay, and it tells you, I don't know about this, this isn't a good idea, or a flat out no, okay, or you might have got like a warning signal or a warning sign, okay, whether you chose to listen to it or not is a whole different ballpark, okay? But you always want to listen to it, okay? Even if you don't like the answer, listen to that little first voice in the back of your head that tells you whatever it is. Like I could say my first marriage, we were sitting there in the back of my mind, I'm like, this isn't a good idea. But then worldly stuff crept in and I talked myself out of what was my intuition, my gut instincts telling me, you know what, this ain't good, this ain't gonna go nowhere good. Another example would be of your intuition and the way things work, and this one I'm gonna kind of include the universe as a whole, okay? Say you have your day planned out, okay? You have a lunch date or whatever, business meeting, whatever. There's something in your schedule for that day, all right? And then something comes along and derails it or alters it, cancels it. It doesn't work out, all right? So then you make a change of plans. And then next thing you know, you either go out to lunch wherever and you run into somebody, you meet somebody who brings some major impact, change, ideas, thoughts, creativity. You either run into someone that you meet that has either a major or a little life-altering, eye-opening something happens, okay? Or again, you run into someone you haven't seen in forever that, you know what, it's long overdue. You guys need to catch up in some way. So it's kind of like the universe throwing things at you, throwing a monkey wrench in your plans, and a lot of times in your life, okay, big or small, it doesn't matter. And then just trusting and knowing it happened for a reason, and then something better comes out of it and plays out of the situation. Those are just a few basic examples. I can go on and on and on and on about all different things, but I think you get my point. So some people, yes, their intuition, their gut instincts are more naturally tuned in than other people. Let me give you an example, okay? Some people can draw stick figures, okay? That's their artistic ability. Other people can draw these fantastic, mind-blowing paintings out of the creation of their brain, okay? But the cool thing about it is anything in life, you can learn how to do anything. Everybody has an artist in them, okay? It's just a matter of practicing. Now, there's some things that I go through in life, and I'm like, man, I really suck at that. I can't do that. Well, you know what? That's not true. If I really showed interest in it and put my heart and soul into it and learn, it's just like school, okay? Remember when you were in school, there's certain subjects you really didn't click with and didn't care about. Therefore, you didn't put all your time and energy into it, and that's fine and well. Then there's other ones that you really liked, and therefore you wanted to develop and grow those things further. Your intuition is the same exact way. Some people are just naturally born with it, already awake, and then, you know, going through life using it. They're in tune with it. They're raised that way. And then there's other people who never even knew they had an intuitive it's your instincts, okay? Just like the birds know to fly south, your intuition is a compass that guides you which is the right way to go, and not everybody knows how to listen to it. So again, like I said, we all have it. Some of us it's more awake than others. Some of it, it's there. You need to grow it and learn how to infuse it and develop it. That's all. So I'm going to go over and list a couple different ways you could use your intuition, your gut instincts, your sixth sense, psychic senses, whatever words you want to use to throw in there, okay? And I'm going to say how you can use them for the higher good. Now, when I say the higher good, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I'm sure you can relate. You could take the most beautiful, innocent, puppy dog, cutesy, innocent thing and twist it into something negative. Now, it's all based on how you choose to view things, or I want to say how you've been programmed by outside influences, people, and society that is wrong or this isn't right, when you really never really got in tune with how you think or feel about it, okay? So it's pretty much the outside world brainwashing you, for a lack of a better word. So another example would be like the internet, okay? When you think about the positive aspect of it, the internet is this amazing, mind-blowing, wonderful database of knowledge and communication and connection and learning and growth and expansion and all things wonderful. Now, some people can tell you that internet is evil. Yeah, you can. It's just like the world, just like people, okay? There's good people and there's bad people. There's nice people and there's assholes. It's the same exact thing with your intuition. You can take anything and manipulate it into something that it's not, to serve your own interests, okay? You get my point here, so let me move on. The one thing that, when developing your intuition, is phenomenal for is making good, solid, regret-free decisions. So many people struggle with decision making and not knowing if they're making the right decision. If you're in tune with your intuition, it gives you the answers. Here's the book. Open up the book. And then you have to decide whether or not you're going to trust it and listen to it. That's the catcher here, though. I'm going to include a link. Again, I don't know where they show up. I'm going to include a clickable link below and then something on the pop-up screen here. I have a mini course on how to make rock-solid, non-regret looking back decisions using your intuition, okay? It's a mini course, okay? It's not a full-blown thing, but I'll include a link to that if that's something that you're interested in. Another thing that your intuition highest good is really good for is just daily peace of mind. Knowing that what is going on today has a higher purpose and a higher good, even when the shit hits the fan. It's just peace of mind, okay? When you're not in tune with your intuition and things seem crazy and out of whack and everything's floating around, it's because you're off, okay? And when you're on and things are right, your intuition is flowing and you just know. I can explain it in so much more detail, but that's just another example. Another example of how your intuition is really phenomenal when using it for your highest good is your personal safety and security, okay? It's like if you're going somewhere, if you have a business meeting and you're going to a new town that you're not familiar with, or some kind of convention, usually those things are like in cities, okay? Depending on what city you go to, cities are pretty known for some crime and all kinds of stuff. But when your intuition is in tune, or even like if you decide to go camping somewhere by yourself, it's just like animals, you know? You can have a deer that's in complete silence and alone and doing her own happy thing, and then all of a sudden she senses and knows there's danger around and to leave, okay? Your intuition works the same exact way. Another way that you could use your intuition for phenomenal highest good reasons is insight and clarity into anything. And anything, how far can I go, it's a big thing. When you're in tune with your intuition, you have insight, clarity, understanding as to the big picture, as to what is going on, okay? So there's really no room for confusion or fear or not understanding why someone is doing something or how it's impacting your life. The big one here for your highest good when your intuition is developed for healing, okay? Healing in every aspect that you can think of. And again, we got a big old, I feel like a bucket here of weight. When you're going through something and you need to go through some kind of healing, whether it's for yourself or somebody else, but I'm mainly talking about you as an individual, not necessarily developing your intuition to help other people, but it's healing. Your intuition will guide you through the necessary steps and process and roads to heal and overcome whatever painful things have happened or whatever blocks or barriers that you need to overcome within yourself. It really is a phenomenal, mind-blowing thing. Now, something I want you to understand here when you're working with your intuition, okay, especially when you're first starting out, understand that not everyone is 100% correct 100% of the time, okay? Even like it's when you're trying to work with your intuition and seeing a little bit into the future, we have this thing called free will, okay? Free will is the ability where you choose what road you're going to go and how you're going to react to situations, and therefore it has a ripple effect. Now, a quick example of that would be, say, all right, right now heroin is a huge epidemic right now in, I want to say in the United States because that's where I'm at. I don't know what's going on in the rest of the world, but drugs, okay? Now, if I read somebody who had a drug problem right now, my intuition is tuning into is where they are right now in their life and the energy and the lifestyle they are giving, okay? So if they continue to do this is what they can expect, okay? Now, free will comes into play where if you choose to clean up your act and make different choices, healthier choices and whatnot for yourself and those you love and everybody around you, free will, okay, now your future is now altered. Some people go through life and they never get it. Other people, they have some kind of wake-up call and it changes their life. So, being correct 100% of the time and free will, they play a big part into your intuition, all right? Your intuition also will give you major key life-changing stages, lessons, events, periods of growth and what I call expansion, okay? As opposed to everyday little things. Like I can pretty much figure out like my week, what I know, what's coming up, what to look out for, working with certain people and whatnot. Moving on. It really all depends on how you choose to develop it and what you want to do with it. really how much you choose to incorporate it in your daily life. Because of what I do for a living, I work with my intuition all day long. That's how I live my life. I do have another course. I'll put a link here. It's a full-blown course on if you really want to full-fledged develop your intuition. I'll include the link to that somewhere. So moving on, okay? We got a really cool exercise here. You're going to need your pen and paper. Remember I was telling you earlier, everybody has intuitive abilities, your gut instincts, okay? And it comes in predominantly in 4 different ways, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over and share with you what them 4 predominant ways are. And I'm going to give you 3 little mini questions. It's going to be real quick here on that will show you what your predominant ability is. Now, this questionnaire that I'm going to go through with you, I'm only giving you a mini fraction of it. If you want the full questionnaire, I think there's 13 questions in each category. It really gets into detail. Just click on the link below and I'll give it to you for free and you could take the time to go over it. If I went over all 13 questions, it could probably take you an hour maybe to really think about it, go through it, answer it, read it, dissect it. We don't have time for that here. So I'm just going to give you a little mini glimpse into it. So let me grab my laptop here. But this is pretty cool. So let me see here. Let me blow it up here. It's 10 pages. Let me see. You can't see there. There's a glare there. All right, but anyway, the full sheet is 10 pages, okay? And it goes over your main 4 clairs. Now, if you want to take real quick notes here, Claire, you might have to pause the video, okay? Because I'm not going to stop and wait. I try to keep these things short. Clairvoyance, V-O-Y. That is the ability to see things. Clairaudience, A-U-D, like audio, is the ability to hear things. Clairsentience is feeling and sensing things. And claircognizance is just knowing, okay? So let's move on here. I am going to ask you 3 questions, and I want you to write down a 1 if we're going to do either 1 or halves. And what I mean by that is I ask the question, and if this happens predominantly most of the time in your life, give it a 1. If it's one of them things where you're like, yeah, sometimes give it a half or a 0.5, okay? So the first question, and again, I'm going to go fast, so you're probably going to want to pause the video. We're going to do clairvoyance, okay, which is clear seeing, all right? So the first question is, do you get visual solutions to problems in your mind's eye? And what that means is if there's a problem or something that needs fixing, or whether it's physical or mentally, you just kind of get a visual of how to fix it. The second one is, are you a visual learner? Some people can read and they get it. Other people visually need to see it. The third one is, are you visually artistic and creative? Meaning you can clearly see like how to decorate a room and see the colors or see how the car parts come together. And you just can see when you walk into a house, a total shithole, how beautiful the potential, how things are. And you get my point here, okay? Moving on, and like I said, there's 13 questions in each category, but I'm just touching on a few. Clairaudience is clear hearing, okay? So a lot of people, all right, I'm going to say a lot, but do you ever hear ringing, buzzingness, or like certain sensations in your ears that are not medically related? There's no medical issues here, okay? Sometimes you'll be sitting there and you'll just hear a buzzing, okay? There's a reason for that, okay? Have you ever heard anything outside of you, such as like a whispering or music or voices when there's no one around? It's like hearing music in your head, and how do I explain it? Some people have said that they heard, like, it's like a voice in their head, okay, that's constantly talking to them. And then the other aspect of it is some people have actually, you know, like heard their name being called. The other one, do you talk to yourself a lot? Do you like have a full-blown conversation in your head? All right. The next one that we're going into is clairsentience, which is clear feeling. These are a lot of your empaths. Okay. So the first question is, do you feel your emotions very deeply and express them deeply? The second question is, do you feel deeply for others and situations, even people you don't even know? And that could be like whether you're watching the news or seeing something or hearing about somebody else when there's some kind of tragedy or some extreme happiness that comes into their life. It's like, it's also like your life too. You connect with it and feel it that deeply. The other question, the third question is, are you highly sensitive to your surroundings and pick up very easily on the vibe or the energy of that place or that person? You've heard that expression, you could walk in a room and just cut the tension with a knife. It's along those same lines, okay? You walk into either an area and you know, okay, whatever just happened in this room was either good or bad. There was a fight here. Or you could just be around somebody and you know, even if they have a phenomenal poker face, you just know when something's not right with them. And the last one, claircognizance, which is just a knowing, okay? It's just like mother's intuition. You just know when something's not right with your kids when they're nowhere around you. That's not the question, though. That's just an example. You are very analytical and thinking oriented, meaning you're just the way you process things and make everything fit. You often make subtle assumptions which turn out to be correct. So it's another example of that would just be like, you know, if your, I don't know, I'm going to say like your boyfriend, okay, or your spouse or whoever, if something's not right in the relationship, you kind of just know. You just, you know what? And then later on you find out, yeah, you're right. You're really not crazy and cuckoo. Your intuition is talking to you and giving you signs, okay? And then somehow, somewhere else, it was confirmed. A lot of times you'll finish someone else's sentence or say what is on their mind before they even get to that part. You're already in tune and connected and you know what they're thinking or saying or feeling. So what I want you to do is, out of those 4, total up your scores, okay? And see which one you got the most points on, and that would tell you what your strongest natural intuitive ability. Now, those are just the four main abilities. There's more. Like, we all have our physical senses, and your physical senses also go into your internal gut instinct spiritual senses. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, all right? Feel free to comment below. Let me know what your strongest ability is. And if you have friends who you think would really be into this, please share it with them. Also, subscribe to the button below and make sure you hit the little bell. This way you're notified when a new video is posted. And like I said, if you really want to dive further into what I just went through there, that real quick quiz, just click on the link below and then you could download it for free and really get in depth. If you want to really learn about how to either make better decisions using your intuition, I have a little mini course that you can go through, or you could just do the full-blown, fully developed intuitive class, and I'll include the links all around wherever they show up. All right, guys, I'll see you next week. Thanks.